We're seeing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau step up to the microphone now. Let's listen in.
Bon matin. Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister. I've been inspired by the resilience, the generosity, and the determination of Canadians. It is the driving force of every single day I have the privilege of serving in this office. That is why, since 2015, I've fought for this country, for you, to strengthen and grow the middle class.
Oh man, Leo said it's
We
over.
rallied to support each other through the pandemic, to advance reconciliation,
Smoking that Trudeau
to
pack.
defend free trade on this continent, to stand strong with Ukraine and our democracy, and to fight climate change and get our economy ready for the future. We are at a critical moment.
Like, fight climate change. Our boys need to fight high energy prices. Like, bro, before y'all worry about climate change, let's focus on energy prices. Because the thing about climate change is y'all worrying about that is what causing y'all to have high energy prices. That kind of got to give up one.
They're in the same energy crisis we are, actually. If you think about it, that pipeline that Biden halted, it went up through parts of Canada as well.
Man.
So
It's in the world.
Screwing everybody over.
You all know I'm a fighter. Every bone in my body has always told me to fight because I care deeply about Canadians. I care deeply about this country, and I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians.
I don't know, but if you were so interested in helping Canadians, why did you choose climate change over what Canadians pay for their, electricity? Now, if you'd have showed me the bill of climate change, I'd have been like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm supposed to be pro-Canada. I'm not making my people pay this just so we can be, climate change. Oh, we could be so pro-green. It's like, nah. And some of these pro-green things is overdoing it. Some of these pro-green laws is overdoing it.
yeah, there's taxes, all type of shit that doesn't really help out the citizen.
Nobody talks to the main offender,
Right.
China.
Right.
So you can't check us without checking China first.
Or the billionaires who, I don't know, hop on a PJ and emit more carbon than you do in a year with your goddamn car
while preaching climate change.
And the fact is, despite best efforts to work through it,
Hey, big baby.
Parliament has been paralyzed
What's
for
up,
months
Vlad? Dave?
after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th. Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves...
The fact that he said, I will resign. You got every Canadian just like...
I ain't gonna lie, we got everybody's Canadian from the membership in here right now smoking that Trudeau pack.
He like, oh yeah, I like what I'm
and
hearing right now.
Listen, guys, we ain't covering it because we like the guy. We covering it damn near in celebration.
It was like, he gone?
Like,
oh, thank you.
Slow clap, goddamn.
Thank you, man. Like, if we get one bad world leader out of here or one overly liberal world leader, maybe we could take care of the rest of them.
Shit, maybe we could go about actually adding Canada as a 51st state.
It's
good news. It's a good sign, goddamn it. Trudeau's out the door, man, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to light up a Trudeau wood.
I'm like, you know what, man? I'm happy for the people of Canada. I'm happy for y'all. We're happy about Trump. We'll be happy for y'all and Trudeau. We can be happy.
A dub is a dub.
Thank God. Wins a win.
A real choice in the next election.
Yes, sir.
And it has become clear to me
that Trudeau
that
pack,
if I'm
baby.
having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. A new prime minister and leader of the Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into.
I mean, goddamn it, you knew he wasn't taking it serious when he was at like what Taylor Swift concerts, dancing and shit.
Bro, like while your city's rioting, my man's out here switching wristband with teenagers and
Bro.
shit. I'm like,
how serious is he taking? And it was kind of funny. His city or his state or his country was under siege, under fire. The liberals was literally attacking his state at the time.
I mean, him and Emmanuel Macron have very odd ways of, I don't know, dealing with pressure of their job, dealing with the pressures of their job.
By completely ignoring it is crazy.
I'm like, I don't know, why don't you solve the problem then go out and party so niggas can party with you? You feel me? I mean, so the people could party with you. Like, hey, you fix that problem, my guy. Not, hey, yo, you know, we're rioting, we're suffering from all these problems. What the hell are you doing out here, bro?
We're getting jiggy to a Taylor Swift. But you know what? I can't blame him. You know what's funny? I've heard Taylor Swift concerts are actually a good time.
Bro, actually, you know what? Running into Justin Trudeau at the club is like running into Joe Biden at the beach. It's like, what the hell am I looking at?
Somewhere to be,
bro.
But shout out Big Wave Dave, goddammit. Starting to show up on the right note. He said, I'm happy this D-bag is gone. Yes, sir, bro. He's rolling up that Trudeau bag. He said, yes, all the Canadians are so happy he is leaving, even our favorite Canadian, Leo. Man. He said, F that, man. Open up the call in.
Oh, man, let's go.
Let's do it, man.
To that next election.
Dave's opened up the call in, guys.
I'm excited
Dave.
to see the process unfold in the months ahead. We were elected for the third time in 2021 to strengthen the economy post-pandemic and advance Canada's interests in a complicated world. And that is exactly the job that I and we will continue to do for Canadians. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll now go to questions, starting with Laurence Martin, Radio-Canada.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. Vous vouliez le faire, ce combat contre Pierre Poilievre. Des batailles internes, il y en a dans votre parti depuis plusieurs mois déjà. Pourquoi est-ce que vous décidez d'abdiquer maintenant? Qu'est-ce qui vous a fait changer?
Why did you decide to resign now after all the squabbles in the party over the past months? I'm not somebody who recoils easily before such enormous challenges before the party and the country.
All right. So you didn't step down
because I'm doing this job in the interests of Canadians in Canada and to defend the democracy which I cherish.
I don't know, man. According to the people of Canada, you was not defending no interests of theirs. According to the majority of Canada, you was not defending no interests of theirs. Actually, honestly, I'd have to, you know, Leo, hopefully you come up on this call and you explain a little bit more to us how Justin Trudeau was effing up Canada.
Oh, we love that.
But I realize that I cannot be the leader in the next elections.
Damn.
All right, I want to bring in.
Yeah, when you F up so bad, you got to sit there and admit, like, yeah, it just can't be me. Like, it just can't be me, guys. There's too much, like, turmoil going on within this government that we got, and it just can't be me.
Paulo, first to you, though. I mean, here you have Justin Trudeau stepping down, resigning as the leader of the Liberal Party in Canada. He's been at the helm there for 11 years. Is this a case of Trudeau jumping before he's pushed?
Absolutely, 100%. And he basically said so in the last few moments.
All right, we're ready to put it in the community. And shout out Vlad. He says, oh, Trudeau is excited to be moving to Cuba where he belongs. Plus this snow is a pain in the butt to shovel. Pierre for the win, man. And shout out, man. Shout out, because it is a pain in the butt. Trust me, it sucks getting all the snow off my car. It was tough. It was definitely a little bit tough for no reason. But all right, man. And also shout out, man, because Trudeau, he do belong in Cuba. With the rest of the commies, okay, I'm just, my bad.
Goddamn.
Once there that we heard from him, he said, look, I can't possibly fight what will be an incredibly difficult election campaign for a government that's almost a decade old if I have to continually fight these internal battles. Now, look, there have been a long list of scandals as well as some achievements that he outlined there. But again, so many members of his own government coming to him and saying, we don't believe that you can beat Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre in the next election, an election that has to be.
Shout out Big Wave Dave, man. He said, this is for Leo calling you floppy-headed Canadian brother. Man. You know,
like, damn, Dave.
You know, it's so funny about how this relationship sparked. It literally started off of a pretty intense Second Amendment debate, and now they the best of buddies, low-key in the Discord. Kind of funny.
You gotta love being a conservative sometimes. you know, we're okay with having different
I
ideas.
swear. I swear. A little good ribbing back and forth, man. It's all good.
It's like we may come at each other's necks, but at the end of the day, it's like, all right, but we cool now.
All good, man.
All right, let's keep it going.
Held by the end of the year. And Pam, as I've been saying all morning, stop me when this sounds familiar.
Man.
This really leaves his party in a tough squeeze. The polls already indicate that they are more than 20 percentage points behind, and now they're going to have the succession battle, and it will be rough with a lot of different people putting their hat in the ring. In the meantime, you have President-elect Trump coming into office. I don't have to remind you, in 2 weeks, threatening 25% tariffs on all Canadian goods imported into the United States. It is a tall order by any stretch. He will stay to be a so-called caretaker prime minister, but also Parliament will not be sitting. And that'll be interesting because it means that no government business can basically get done. It's really just governing on an emergency basis, if you will. Again, a lot of moving parts here. I will add to all of this. Canada just assumed the G7 presidency at the beginning of 2025. G7 meeting supposed to happen in Alberta, Canada in June. A lot on the plate here. And the Prime Minister really putting a personal touch on this, saying that, look, I had a discussion with my 3 children at dinner last night, and that's when I made the decision, something we all...
Hey, so hold on. He sat around his kids and said, and I wonder what his kids say, Dad, you suck. Okay, Dad, you suck. Okay, actually, Dad, I've been getting made fun of because of how much you suck. They'd be like, oh, man, so what's up with your dad, man? You keep effing up. It's like, yeah, that's me, Dad. That's my life. You know, as Justin Trudeau sits there and you know, I mean, guilt at the family table.
He has kids. He kind of strikes me as an aloof metrosexual uncle.
I'm weak. Whoa, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, for real?
Like he just shows up in the nicest of clothes, but you never see him with a partner, male or female.
I didn't know he had kids either.
Like, bro, doesn't he seem like, bro, he shows up at the family function in the nicest of clothes, but never has a partner, male or female. That aloof metrosexual uncle.
But can you imagine talking to your kids about your leadership and they're going, and then you come to the conclusion like, damn, I need to quit.
Man.
Like, I don't know, maybe it was one of his kids going like, Dad, your leadership over my life is effing me up.
Oh, man. Perfect time to segue into getting Big Wave Dave in on here and getting his take, man. What's up, Dave?
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, Dave?
So glad that fucking Justin is fucking out of here. Fuck that piece of shit. And Pierre Poilievre, or whatever the fuck his name is, that dude's a fucking savage.
Is that his replacement?
I hope so.
No, we need to start playing some stuff from Pierre, because
you ever seen the video where he's sitting there eating the fucking apple and the media is like asking him questions? He's like, who says this? And keeps eating the apple, and they're like, well, people. And he's like, eating the apple. Well, what people? And they could not answer the motherfucker.
Oh no, I know you. Okay, that's him.
Yeah, Pierre Poilievre.
That's a leader they probably need. The Canada.
Yes.
That everybody wants.
No, that man was memed up on Twitter one day. It's just like, bro.
He does not give a fuck. He's like, yeah, fuck you. Yo, and every time I watch the Canadian Parliament, he's always making Trudeau look like a fucking idiot. Like every fucking time.
Well, that's not a hard thing.
I mean, he's like his worst enemy in Parliament. Like, as soon as that man stands up, it's just like, all right,
that is not a hard thing to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I do want Leo in here. And again, I've told you guys before, like I only had that argument with Leo because I found out he was Canadian.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. No, it's just hilarious how that sparked off. And to now it kind of being like a nice little brotherly back and forth in the
because see now I don't care because now I know he's Canadian. So if he wants to talk about American politics, I don't give a shit.
Nah, it's actually just hilarious how that relationship just sparked up. Like I said, it's the most uncanny of pairings. Like,
no, he's not completely fucking retarded. I'm just saying. He's even glad that Trudeau's gonna be gone.
Oh no, he said rest in piss. He started the stream off by saying rest in piss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, Leo is definitely not a Trudeau fan. We got to get him up on this call to see what his take is.
Well, he said give him a minute. So
yeah, we'll give him a minute on that one. But we also got other stuff to get into because that man Biden is wilding again.
A quick word.
Yo, with the fucking the oil drilling.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, you're making everything this man Trump told us he was gonna do. He's gonna make 10 times harder.
Well, it's
Yo,
what
wasn't there
it's
that
what Kamala
fucking
low-key promised she would do if she got in office: ban offshore drilling due to environmental reasons.
We need that.
yo, isn't there that one GIF or GIF or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where it's like the smiley face with the two middle fingers going up?
Yep, literally.
Like, yeah, that's what Biden's fucking doing right now.
Bro, both middle fingers, like, bro, to the Democratic Party and to the American people.
Yeah, and he's just laughing on his way out. I'm gonna fuck you all.
Bro, literally he's walking backwards, just like, yup.
On his way out, like I said, it's like a party gift. Like,
bro, no,
I'm gonna pardon my son, even though I said I wasn't, and fuck you all. Yo,
Comey was the reason when he
fuck
said,
you, like he's giving his departing speech, like fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, eat shit.
when that man said for
he
climate
did not
change,
tell anybody that they're cool except for his son. Other than that, it's all fuck you, I'm out.
man, I damn near threw my phone across the room when I heard, oh, it's for climate change. I was like, it's
Yeah,
always
okay,
fucking
uh-huh.
climate change. Y'all screw us over for climate change.
But the only thing I can say is it is congruent to kind of like the position of the Biden administration, because Kamala said the exact same thing. You remember when they were kind of grilling her about how she switched positions? Like they literally had her on video saying she would ban offshore drilling, but then while she was campaigning saying she would do it because we needed it for energy reasons.
Because the Democrats don't care. They lie to you to get your vote, and then once they get your vote, you can fuck off.
They don't give a shit.
Let me do the exact opposite.
But let's get a quick word. Oh man, we do got Leo in here. Let's get a quick word from Don.
Oh yes, Leo.
And let's get a quick word from Steph. And let's add Leo in here as well.
I posted a link in the Discord for the call-in, by the way. I had to fix
Mons,
it.
I'll let
because,
you start it off, man. Get a quick word in on what you've seen so far.
So are you talking about the offshore drilling or the thing with Trudeau?
Trudeau, offshore drilling, just the video.
Well, the Trudeau thing, I've never liked him since the very beginning. So
Nobody's ever liked fucking Trudeau.
I've never liked him as a person.
He's a fucking tool bag. He's a Newsom like wannabe. And in fact, I was telling Leo earlier today, and Leo's like, I hope they don't, but they're going to nominate fucking Newsom next. Because he's that pretty face like Trudeau was. He's going to be a Trudeau 2.0.
I'm going to point out the fact also that he kind of rigged some elections. At least there's some belief that he rigged some elections.
Again, one of the things Leo and I were talking about. Leo, what was it? A little bit of both?
What, with the rigging?
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I'll let Don's finish that out real quick.
All right,
I'll let Don's finish that real quick. Go ahead, Don. Finish that.
I was going to say, for everything I heard about the rigging of the election, there was a little bit of rigging. There was a little bit of not rigging. So, like, some of the votes were true. Some of the votes weren't. And other than that, the whole offshore drilling thing, climate control, my fucking ass, dude. You're doing it to sabotage fucking Trump's presidency because you want to raise up oil prices even fucking higher to make it seem like he's not doing anything to fix the country. But
all right.
Agreed.
And we also got Stephen in on the call. Steph, go ahead and add some kind, peaceful words, would you?
Kind, peaceful words.
Peaceful.
Well, anything you
hey,
want to
Steph,
add.
it's snowing here. Is it snowing there?
Anything you'd like to add, Steph? I guess you don't have to keep it kind or peaceful.
I'm dying a little bit. Oh shit. Steph is throwing ice balls. I'm throwing snowballs.
All right.
Well, well, mine's actually the total opposite of what you guys are talking about. I'll wait until later. I'll wait until you guys are done this subject. Actually.
Fair enough, Steph. No problem. I'm gonna let Guest Dude get a turn to speak as well. What's going on, Guest Dude?
Hey, Guest Dude.
Hey, just making sure my audio is all set up real quick. Make sure I don't have that echo this time around.
All good.
How we doing?
Good, bro. How you doing?
All right, cool. All right, yeah. Just wanted to jump in on the Trudeau hate train. Mr. Fidel's illegitimate son.
Castro's illegitimate son, bro.
Oh man.
Oh man. No, it's funny. We all like it looks like all the rats are trying to get off the boat.
Yeah,
As they always do. Oh shit, we got a party going on.
Well, I'll let, if you just want to keep it brief, guys, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and let Vladstein speak. What you think on this, Vladstein?
What do I think? I think Trudeau deserves this from the very beginning. He praises China, so he should be stuck in China. And as far as Biden sticking a middle finger to us, I say we should put him in jail. I don't care how old he is.
Man, all right.
Damn, bro.
That's true.
Hey, yo, I like that. He said,
He can have his bread buttered in jail. I don't give a
He
damn.
said, "Old age be damned. It's gonna be a cold, hard floor for you, old man."
Just don't drop the soap, Biden. Just don't
He can
drop the
take
soap,
place for
Biden.
his son Hunter Biden in jail.
That doddering old man.
Or how about this? Put him in the middle of nowhere and let him defend for himself like he does for us.
No, he just go
He would
around in
wander off into
circles.
the
Come
woods
on.
like he did in the Amazon.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. All right, guys. We also got Doc Hill in here. Let's let
What's
Doc.
up, Doc?
Hola, hola.
What's going on,
Don't
Doc?
hola me.
I'm gonna grab my coffee.
We're down here in Texas. It's
party
cold.
going.
Things are confused.
Now habla español, por favor.
No problem. I was
Okay.
talking to
Sí, señor.
one of my family members that's in the drilling business, and I asked him. He's usually pretty left leaning, but I was curious. I said, like, how are you guys looking at this? He's like, man, yeah, what he's doing is it'll complicate some things, but for the most part, it's not gonna mess up with what we're doing. And Trump said he's gonna come in here and just, override it anyway. So, I mean,
Drill, baby, drill.
absolutely, Texas is
Yep. Let's
gearing
go.
up. They're
See, and
looking at new
That
contracts.
point right there just kind of further confuses me, and it even brings like a level of anger because I'm just like, if Trump's gonna come in and reverse this anyway, what is Biden even doing it for?
Spite.
What's the purpose?
I told you.
Spite.
I already told you. It's the double FU as he, the smile and moving left to right with the double middle fingers. Come on.
Biden felt like he could have won. He did admit that. He felt like, bro, if y'all didn't pull me out, I could have won. I'm like, okay, Biden, okay.
Yep, it's spiteful towards the president. It's spiteful towards his party, and I agree with Dave. He's just machine gunning the F-bombs that are
Yeah, whatever he can fucking do, man. Whatever he can fucking do.
To me, like it's almost pointless. Like just like you guys are saying, like a middle finger as he backward walks out the room. I mean,
Yeah, well, don't. Yo, Set and Key, you have someone in the chat trying to say that oil production is at an all-time high when Biden during his presidency shut down most a ton of fucking oil refineries throughout the United States and all of Pennsylvania. But we're not going to delve into that one.
And fuck that Keystone pipeline with the natural gas.
That sounds like a Joe Smo argument. I'm sorry. That sounds like a Joe Smo. Do you get that one from Joe?
Yeah.
It is a Joe Smo argument.
Go fuck yourself, Joe.
You're all a bunch
He
of
ain't
fucking
cooking
savages.
with that. He's making raw salmon with that.
Can I just hop in? The U.S. is producing more oil than any country in the world right now.
It ain't going in my gas tank.
It ain't going in their gas tank.
Yeah, right.
That's fair. But
No, hold on. But honestly, though, the argument is that if we have such a high supply, then why is our price going up? Because usually a high supply in something means that the price goes down. That's just economics.
Because we had a higher supply, but they cut off the supply. Even though we still have a high supply, we have less than we had before
We have
Biden's
less
presidency.
access to
Hence
that
the oil
supply.
price increase. Yeah.
And oil prices are set by the global market, and so with
Yes.
Europe, what's going on with Russia? They fucked the oil production there. They couldn't get pipelines built, or the war itself disrupted the pipeline and everything. So that obviously offsets it.
And also, you have those fucking idiots, the Just Stop Oil fucking scumbags over in Europe, blocking fucking highways.
We don't have.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all.
Is the reason why.
Yeah, right.
It's like it all comes down to basic economics. At the end of the day, it's like, yo, if we don't got the supply for it, I mean,
All I gotta say is, bro, in my state, if you surround someone's car trying to block them from moving around in their vehicle, that's considered entrapment, and legally they can run you over. So I strongly suggest don't doing that in Pennsylvania. You will
And hold
die.
on now, Don. This is my second question. Though. Here's my
Run them
second question.
motherfuckers
No,
over.
here's the second question. Like,
Don's
because we have the
available.
most production, does that mean that we're producing enough for our people?
I can vouch for that. Don's is right.
Here's the grand answer. Okay, so we don't drill offshores then. Okay, so here we go. We open up the Alaska drilling. We open up all the drilling onshore. Trump just goes ahead and goes, fine, we won't drill offshore. We'll just drill onshore from now on.
Well, if we Canada territory, we can just drill there too.
Oh, stop that with the Canada.
No. We Canada is the new national park. We don't drill in Canada. Canada's our national park.
All right, hold on. Now that you're all talking about Canada, Leo, where you at?
Yeah, right here.
All right, bro. How do you feel about that? You want to be the 51st state?
No, it's not a state. It's a national park.
No one up here wants that.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
No, I've talked to several Canadians. They like the idea. They can have their guns
Stop being an
back.
asshole about it.
Yeah, that's like very few of us. I'm not gonna lie. But
I'll be honest, Canada would probably be better off with some kind of more influence, but you know.
Canada gets to be our new national park.
Our influence has been stifled. Our influence has been stifled by Trudeau because that's why we're in such a gutter right now.
Hey, the last time Canada got to have any national or any international influence, it created a whole new slew of lines in the Geneva Convention. So we don't want them to have influence. There's a reason.
Yo.
You
Be
mean like that
nice.
joke
Come
where
on
Canada's the type of person to say, "I'm sorry" while driving the knife in?
I didn't mean to do it.
I'm so sorry. What's that about?
I hear it hurts, so you don't really want to cause them discomfort, but it's gotta happen.
Yo.
We're not producing enough for our people.
Yo, Leo.
Yeah.
Leo. You have become a favorite person on this channel, just so you know. You're our favorite idiot Canadian. And you're not an idiot. Don't get me wrong. You're just our favorite Canadian.
I'll take it. Appreciate
it. I do like your maple syrup, though. I will give you that.
Fuck you. With the maple
I
syrup.
like their hockey team also. I mean,
Oh, suck it up, Don. Suck it up.
So I was asleep for most of today, hibernating out this winter that you guys threw our way. What the hell happened? Like, I seem to have missed this offshore ban. What exactly was it? An executive order, or what the hell happened?
Oh, I think it was an executive order.
Okay,
hold on. We get into the video on that one. You want to go ahead and say?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, get into that. Everybody mute your mics.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
All right, say, Captain.
Go ahead and stick around, guys.
Y'all almost ruined the topic, but we appreciate y'all.
Supporters, Demner got ahead of us on that one.
Man, but don't worry. We're gonna keep it on track.
All right, guys, let's get into it, man.
All right, man, let's go. All right, got it playing
today. The White House says President Biden announced a ban on new offshore drilling along most of the U.S. coastline.
You know what? I don't think anybody really heard my point, but I did want to point it to the fact that, just because we produce the most doesn't mean we're producing enough for all of our citizens. And I mean, we are very high. When it comes to energy, we consume. I mean, think about AI and stuff.
So what are we doing? Selling it?
I mean, here's the thing. We're producing energy. We may produce the most, but guess what? We also consume the most. So we're not even producing enough for our people. That's why we produce the most. Because we have the most high energy consuming people. Yeah. So when people say, "Oh, America produces the most energy," it's like
we consume the most.
Yeah, we consume
our energy
the most.
consumption is among the highest in the world.
And guess what? Our prices are so high because it's still not enough. That's why it's a mute argument when y'all guys say that.
Today, the White House says the ban will protect 625 million acres of ocean along the Atlantic and Pacific coasts, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Bering Sea. The Biden administration is hoping the move will protect against President-elect Trump's plans to boost oil and gas production during his second term. In an interview with Hugh Hewitt this morning, President-elect Trump vowed to reverse the ban, calling the move ridiculous and saying he would, quote, unban it immediately. Joining me now is NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell from a very snowy North Lawn. Kelly, can Trump actually reverse the ban as he said he would this morning?
It is not as easy as it might appear. You would think if one president can authorize something, another president might be able to reverse it, as you indicated. But what we have learned is that case law suggests that it is actually Congress who would have to take action. And what President Biden is aiming to do here is to follow through on his pledges related to energy conservation, climate protection, environmental issues. And many of the areas within the 625 million acres are close in coastal areas, and they are not considered to be prime areas for oil production. So in some ways, this would sort of solidify those areas right off the coastline as being protected from this. Now, President Trump...
Climate change and everything else, but to help the American people. So we need to increase our production because we need more energy. We consume a lot as people. I mean, what you mean? Most of us still got gas cars.
For sure.
So it is a bit wild when they come over here and see, and say, "Oh, well,
What do you
for
mean?
climate change reasons."
Some people's homes and apartments are still powered by gas. Not everybody has an all-electric building.
That's what I'm saying. So for climate change reasons, we're just going to go ahead and throw up, energy prices.
No, for sure.
I mean, it is crazy because
Instead of the electric, the logistics industry, diesel fuels, all types of stuff. Like it's still a major part of consumption.
And here's the thing: what do you think this would do to our oil production? The one that we barely have enough demand for our own people for.
Well, I think most oil and I think most energy is actually consumed by American production industries, like as far as like factories, like diesel fuels, all type of shit like that.
AI,
that too. And they're having to turn to nuclear power for AI.
Ooh,
like make whole nuclear plants because this energy isn't going to be sufficient.
Google's talking about making nuclear plants because they don't want to drag from our stuff. So because they even know that, bro, we're not producing enough energy, that they got to create their own.
Yeah,
hey, it tells a lot.
Certainly try to unwind this, but he also tried to do that in his first term with an Obama era matter, and the court said that Congress needed to act. And when you get Congress involved, certainly with a Republican Congress, he may be able to do that. But at the same time, you might also have all the local interests from coastal related members of Congress who would also have concerns. And so the issue is there enough energy production without this? The Biden administration says yes. President Trump says this is a way to undermine his administration right before it comes into office.
And Kelly, quickly, before I let you go, the production covers areas mostly that haven't seen a lot of interest from oil companies.
I mean, guys, just even on a basic surface level, one has to ask the question, like, if Biden knows that the Trump administration's plan is to go with offshore drilling, what's the point of him banning it less than a month before he gets out of office?
I want to make it hard on him.
Like, yeah, it's just some type of petty political beef.
Honestly, like, it's kind of like what they're doing now to us. Like, oh, well, why hasn't Trump started now? Well, what's going on with Trump? We're hitting him with the obvious answer of he's not in office yet.
Yeah, I mean, and to further
so when
that,
Trump's in office, Biden have made it so hard to the point where why hasn't he got it done now?
But look, to further that, Trump saying like it seems like Biden is just doing this out of trying to make my job a little bit harder. Like, yeah, that's the obvious response. That's the obvious interpretation. Is like, why would he do that knowing it's only gonna be withheld for so long?
I mean, here's the thing though: Democrats ain't gonna blame him for nothing that he's doing right now. They're just gonna blame Trump for the effects of it. Oh, why isn't he getting oil? I mean, oil prices down. The man just shut off offshore drilling, banned it. He gotta fix that. Like, oh, why is it taking so long to fix Ukraine problem? Bro, Biden just gave these
on his way out.
Bro, he just gave these people long-range missiles and helping them plan attacks on Russia with these long-range missiles.
Retreating out of office, doing everything in his power while he still has it to make the next leader's job that much harder.
Bro,
it's actually, bro, he's hurting. Fuck the petty beef between him and Trump. He's hurting us.
And then with the immigration topic, I mean, he ain't did nothing with that yet. But the only thing that they're doing is, well, complaining on the cost that it takes to fix the problem that they created.
It's like when your parents are arguing during a divorce. Who really suffers? The kids.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Drilling purposes. So is this mostly a symbolic gesture on the president's part?
It is in some ways symbolic, but it's also to try to reinforce that those areas nearest to the coastline would be protected in terms of what he says would be irreversible damage if there were drilling in those close-in areas. Most oil production is much farther out. at sea. And so these are the outer continental shelf along the coastline. So the experts will debate the validity of what could be there, but it is also something that'll be tested.
Kelly O'Donnell live for us on the White House North Lawn. Kelly, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
All right.
Kevin Moore joins me now. Steve, can Trump reverse all these regulations on offshore drilling that we just heard from Edward? Can Trump reverse it easily?
I do, Stuart. By the way, welcome back. Happy New Year. We missed you.
That's a really damn good question. I like how he opened that up with it. He's like, yeah, but even if Biden did do this, can my man reverse it day one?
I mean,
he might have to use up an executive order, but
I'm sure that's part of the strategy, though. And it's like Trump said, it's like his campaign or whoever represents Trump already admitted to. Like, he's just trying to do this to make my job harder. Because if on day one I could go under the assumption that he didn't ban it and I could set whatever policies I could do to help strengthen the energy crisis, then I'm going to have that much of a harder time because Biden has now put this in place to where I have to overturn that. I'm working from behind now, essentially.
All right. Shout out Big Wave Dave. He says Leo sent the video in general. All right. We'll go ahead and get that pulled up and looked at.
Sounds great.
All right. Go ahead and put it back on the main.
Kevin Moore joins me now. Steve, can Trump reverse all these regulations on offshore drilling that we just heard from Edward? Can Trump reverse it easily?
I do, Stuart. By the way, welcome back. Happy New Year. We missed you. But look, remember, we've talked in recent weeks about the fact that Trump will have a stack of about 100 executive orders on his desk on January 21st when he returns to office. And what I'd like to see is let's add another executive order to that list. Let's put it at the top of the pile, and that is reversing this absurd.
And shout out Mr. Doc, who said, if it was so important for him to close down offshore drilling, why is he just now doing it?
That's the point I'm really trying to drill home here. No pun intended, but I'm trying to drill this point home. It's done out of like a petty political beef. It wasn't done because it was their true belief. Now, Kamala did say this. She was cited saying this on video. So it does track with the Biden administration. But him doing it as almost the last thing he does before he gets out of office, bro, it's really just a beef between him and the Trump administration.
And his own, remember, in his own administration.
That too.
Because, they did not like the fact, bro, well, not only did he thought he could win, but they kicked his ass out, and then I ain't gonna lie, they kind of put the arm behind the back and said, get your ass out of here.
Low key. And they made him support Kamala, who he didn't even care for.
Oh, dude, do you hear how much like BS Schumer's getting over the fact that they try? Oh, are you like? Do you have anything to say about the fact that you try to hide Joe Biden's mental illness?
Yeah,
he's like,
that.
we didn't. No, we didn't. We didn't do no such thing. And he just talked over it completely, and we were like, hey, man, y'all have no accountability,
bro.
Crazy executive order by President Biden. But there's a term in football, Stuart. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's called the Hail Mary pass. Yep. It's when you have nothing left and you just throw it up in the air and hope somebody catches it. That's what this is by Biden. It's a Hail Mary pass, and I guarantee you this will be reversed. We have so much energy offshore. We should be using it to ensure that America has a commanding position in the energy markets. That will happen. And I think I might be right. I think this is going to be in that stack of executive orders that Trump signs on January 21.
Canada's Prime Minister Trudeau, he's reportedly going to announce his resignation very soon. Is Trudeau in trouble because of the pressure from Trump?
I believe he is. I think that there is a worldwide revolt against arrogant, progressive, out-of-touch politicians. And Trudeau is one of those people who just is not with the program. He completely mishandled COVID, did so much damage to the Canadian economy. The people in West Virginia, which is one of our poorest states, are richer today than the people in the richest provinces of Canada, because Canada keeps falling behind. Stuart, they've been moving in a socialist direction. The United States obviously has been, at least under Trump, moving in the right direction. I want to mention one other thing that Biden did in the last few days that I think is outrageous as this offshore drilling, and that is killing the Nippon Steel deal, which I think Trump should come in and reverse that decision. He's a master negotiator. This is in the interest of the investors and the workers. It's going to save steel jobs in America.
Got it.
Trump can do it. And Mr. President, get this done.
Okay, I think he's watching. I think he hears. Steve Moore, thanks for joining us.
I hope he is.
We'll see you again later.
All right, man. Now our man, guess who said he has something on the topic? Hey, man, put him up.
I am with.
No, guess dude.
Oh,
Gotcha.
what's going on, guys, dude?
All right. So after watching those two videos, I've got to ask real quick, and I'm going to bring this up first as a question. All right. So obviously, I got to ask the hardball question on this. Why we know why Biden did this, and the question I'd have to ask is why the hell didn't he do the same ban on coal? In the last 4 years, the EPA has done some deep dives into coal ash, and we now know coal ash is more radioactive than nuclear fallout by the ton. And coal ash has been used in everything from playground fill to
food.
It's been used in every inch of our society, and if this was something about health and the environment and safety, why hasn't he come out and done an executive order in the last 2 years since these reports have come out banning the use of coal ash?
Cause, like I said, man, it was never about safety, and if it was about
Exactly.
safety, frame that from the beginning. But we all know it's a huge scam because we're using the scam. We all know climate change.
And I'm probably an outlier on the channel that actually agrees with the climate change arguments, but I'm a much more radical proponent of doing something about climate change than even the climate change activists argue. I'm one of the guys who's like, no, we need to get off of petroleum and fossil fuels faster. It's why like Elon and all these people, I'm like, no, these people are idiots. They're like, oh, we need to get on electric cars. I'm like, no, electric cars are worse for climate change than even gas cars are.
I mean, we still need gas.
Right. I mean, well, to mine the lithium too.
Everybody know the running meme where somebody will be charging a Tesla with a a diesel gas battery.
No, 90% of all of electric cars are run off of coal.
Yeah.
And that means they're all pumping coal ash into the atmosphere.
Yeah, the lithium.
And I actually got into a debate. I want to say it was Thursday. The reason I was gone pretty much all last week, I was doing some heavy research on coal ash because I got into a week-long debate with a couple of my old professors about electric vehicles. And the main reason was they were like, no, their coal ash isn't as bad as you're saying it is, and I had to go and deep dive some stuff on it. You can actually walk through White Sands right now, White Sands, New Mexico, the old testing grounds, and not get nearly as much radiation as if you were walking around a coal power plant today.
Really?
Yes. Like a coal power plant has more radioactive material around it than White Sands, New Mexico.
God damn.
I'm gonna tell you one thing you definitely educated me on. I did not know that.
Because what happens is like per pound of coal burned, coal itself has thorium, uranium, and plutonium trace elements in it. And what happens is when it burns, it condenses those heavier elements into it, and it produces heavy amount. Those don't burn out; they just get condensed into heavier elements, and then you get argon and radium and huge amounts of there's a place in Georgia and there's a place in Alabama. Alabama's horrible for it. Like the state of Alabama has 3 locations that there's a playground in Alabama that they were using coal ash to build playgrounds out of them. They were using coal ash to fill in the playgrounds, and they weren't covering them up correctly. And kids were getting poisoned by arsenic from the coal ash.
Huh. Okay.
There's a bunch of places up, and I want to say it's Montana. They were doing the same thing, and they're basically killing kids with lead and arsenic because of the coal ash. And they were able to rebuild Nagasaki and Hiroshima within 5 years. Some of these places around these coal ash deposits are deadly 20, 30 years later. And
me on some shit right now.
That's because, and they're going to have to keep building new coal plants because of these EV cars. Meanwhile, they're telling us, oh, we can't build nuclear power plants because of Fukushima and Chernobyl.
So hold on, guest dude. I hate to stop you right there or interject, but it damn near sounds like an endless cycle, since that's what our government is pushing for, is for everybody to have electric vehicles,
And
not
then-
just in America either.
And then they use fear to keep us off, nuclear.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows nuclear is one of the cleanest energies.
Yeah,
though.
but Chernobyl. But like you said, Chernobyl and other mistakes, you kind of have people a bit hesitant.
But there's only been 3 major failures of a nuclear power plant, 2 of which one was caused by a tsunami and an earthquake.
Japan. Yeah, Japan.
And then you got Chernobyl, which was caused by KGB stealing a blueprint from an American plant, which there's good evidence the CIA fed bad blueprints to the KGB, and then the KGB built the Chernobyl plant using bad blueprints.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a lot of narratives and conspiracy kind of surrounding how Chernobyl happened, because
Chernobyl very likely was.
Man-made mistakes.
Yeah, like faulty, out-of-date equipment.
And then 3 Mile Island, there's good evidence that the oil companies, like the Pelican Brief, we were talking about that, the Pelican Brief movie. There's good evidence that the 3 Mile Island was sabotaged by the oil companies. There's good evidence that the 3 major failures of a nuclear power plant were 2 of which were done by sabotage, and 1 was done by a natural disaster that could have been, and even then, Fukushima only got as bad as it did because they built it right on top of a fault line in Japan. And they were told.
It sounds like a major conspiracy to low-key get the public away from going nuclear.
All right, guys. Now we are getting a bit off topic here. Now we do got to keep it going because.
Well, I mean, I think it's actually on topic. If we'd gone full nuclear in the 60s, we would not be on petroleum today. And the numbers point to if we were on a full nuclear grid today, we could have a fully electric grid right now, and we could have these electric vehicles, and we would have been fully electric vehicled by 95.
Sound like we'd have type 1 civilization type of energy.
But what, the oil tycoons just wouldn't let that happen?
Exactly.
Fuck. God damn it.
Can't make enough money.
Well, no, they'd be making
wireless energy or argument. Like, how do you charge wireless energy?
And there's good evidence. There's good evidence that going back to Tesla, the way he was running a lot of his. If you look at what he was trying to build, the Westinghouse tower that he was trying to build was running off of a uranium field.
I have heard of that one though. I have heard of that. God damn. One of the few people to start playing with that uranium.
Goddamn, guys, dude. Always putting something on us, dropping knowledge, man. We love you. We're going to continue on with the video, man. We'll keep you up here, man. We'll probably bring you up later.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, G.
I like how you weave that point back. King's like, wait, no, it's on point.
No, I love that. I love that. He's
Oh,
like,
wait, it is.
actually, before we skip over that, it's actually right on track.
Okay, I love it because it was.
Good day. Canadians desperate to turn the page on this
And this
dark
is Pierre.
chapter in our history.
This is the savage with the apple. Being a little bit more professional, of course, but hey, it's the savage, man. Now let's go ahead and get into Leo's video, man. Shout out Leo.
Good day. Canadians desperate to turn the page on this dark chapter in our history might be relieved today that Justin Trudeau is finally leaving. But what has really changed? Every Liberal MP in power today and every potential Liberal leadership contender fighting for the top job helped Justin Trudeau break the country over the last 9 years. All Liberal politicians actively.
You say no. Not just Trudeau got to step down. There's a couple of y'all over there in the back hiding y'all hands that need to step down as well.
Well, to that point, let's get Leo in here Leo, never mind.
Worked to pass into law the job-killing inflationary carbon tax, a tax that Carbon Tax Carney endorsed in his book. All supported a law quadrupling the tax over the next 5 years. All voted for or actively supported Trudeau's out-of-control spending, debt, and immigration. All passed Trudeau's housing policies that doubled the cost of homes. All Liberal politicians helped pass catch-and-release bail and house arrest for the most rampant reoffenders, policies that increased violent crime 50%, gun crime 116%, and hate crime by 250%. So given that Liberal MPs and leadership contenders unanimously supported everything Trudeau has done, why dump him now, right before an election? Have they had a change of heart? Is it because they feel guilty that they doubled housing costs, hiked taxes, unleashed crime, broke immigration, forced a quarter of the population into poverty?
I'm getting his point. He's like, yeah, well, Trudeau may be stepping down, but he ain't the only person that should be stepping down. Like, y'all over here glad at this, man. It's like, trust me, there's other people who was helping this guy out, who was helping do this to y'all people, who's helping do this to the Canadian people. We need to get them to step down just as much. We need to get Trudeau to step down. I don't know too much about that, but I'm pretty sure Leo knows who needs to step down as well, or any real Canadian who's into politics.
Have they had a change of heart? Is it because they feel guilty that they doubled housing costs, hiked taxes, unleashed crime, broke immigration, forced a quarter of the population into poverty? No. They continued supporting Trudeau when he did all of those things. No, their only objection is that he is no longer popular enough to win an election and keep them in power. They want to protect their pensions and paycheck by sweeping their hated leader under the rug months before an election to trick you and then do it all over again. Now, while leaderless Liberals focus on saving their jobs and fighting each other for power, the country spirals out of control, an out-of-control housing emergency, an out-of-control migrant crisis, an out-of-control $62 billion deficit, not to mention tariff threats from the United States. Oh, and another NDP Liberal carbon tax hike kicks in this April 1st. Everything's out of control, and now the government is out of control. This cannot go on.
Imagine like getting taxed for being a human being or being a living organism. What does every living organism produce?
CO2.
Carbon. Carbon, right?
Yeah, CO2.
Yeah, more carbon. Ain't that crazy? We're being charged for, I don't know, then they're living.
Goddamn. About to start having a step tax. How many steps you take on God's green earth.
Man, it's like, come on, man. You stepping out here too much, man. You're ruining the environment.
Oh, God.
Like you stepped on a dandelion.
Literally, your carbon footprint.
We need a carbon tax election now to choose between the NDP Liberal costly coalition that taxes your food, punishes your work, doubles your housing costs, and unleashes crime and drugs in your community, or common sense conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Canadians can take back control of their lives and their country, take back control of our border, take back control of immigration, take back control of spending, deficits.
Make sure y'all guys like the video, man. Go ahead and double tap that screen for us or hit the 3 dots up there in the corner to like the video. And we are about 19 super chats away from our goal. And we're going to go ahead and do the Am I a Racist watch party in Discord, man, for the members. Let's go.
And inflation, take back control of our streets
hell
by
bad.
locking up criminals, banning drugs, treating addiction, and stopping gun smugglers. We'll cap spending, axe taxes, reward work, build homes, uphold family, stop crime, secure borders, rearm our forces, restore our freedom, and put Canada first. All with one mission: to bring home Canada's promise that every hardworking Canadian gets a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food and homes on safe streets where all are united for the country we know and love. Canada first, Canada last, Canada always. Let's bring it home.
Shout out.
And as promised, now that that video is over, let's get some of the members up here for a quick word.
Oh, perfect.
We got Don's and Big Wave Dave. I'm not sure where Big Wave Dave went, but I guess we could do Don's for now. Big Wave Dave will probably join back in. What's up, Don's?
So I actually sent you a link to a video on it also, but they're going to be reopening 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania.
What is it?
3 Mile Island, the nuclear power plant that almost melted down a couple years back. They're reopening it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware about that.
So there's it has to do with Bill Gates. So what he did is he made a deal with the owner of the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant, and they're going to be reopening at some point, and they're going to sell all their energy production to help power the Microsoft smart grid technology and the AI.
All right.
Yeah, I put a whole video on it in the Discord. And what channel did I put it in so I can tell you? News and Media. But I just found about this from my dad because my dad told me about it. But now a lot of people don't know that this will end up raising energy prices. So it's gonna hurt Pennsylvania. Might help Bill Gates and might help his smart grid technology, but it's not going to help the people. But I thought that would be interesting to cover. Also, some people mentioned things about like the whole the climate problems. A lot of people don't realize that the aspect of global warming. There are a lot more studies supporting that global warming isn't going to destroy the world. All it's really does is expedite us to the next great cooling. So like ice ages and so on and so forth. So what it would do is over a certain amount of years, the Earth produces so much carbon that it causes a mass cooling of the Earth, right? After X amount of years of that, then you get another ice age. So and then the cycle resets itself. You know what I mean? So what pollution is doing is it's speeding up that process. So rather than it taking hundreds and thousands or millions of years to reach another ice age, it may only take 1 million. It may only take 500,000. Then the process, the process resets itself. There's another great cold. It warms up again, and then the process restarts. So all pollution is really doing is just expediting us to the next ice age. Now, if we prepare for it, it probably won't hurt us. But that is what global warming is signs of. We're preparing to go into the next ice age because we polluted the Earth much quicker than would normally happen, causing the cycle to happen faster.
All right, and shout out Dons. We do appreciate you sharing that. We're gonna go ahead and transition into a quick musical interlude. Shout out Big Wave Dave for sharing the song. Dons, we appreciate the words.
All right, ready?
Let's do it.
Cities by a certain group of people doesn't make you racist. Brought them alone. There were estimated 1,400.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Pierce Morgan, man. He's been a while since he's been
Holiday, as they call it.
Yeah, everybody's been on a break. Him and Candace. Shout out.
You know, it's funny. Big Wave Dave actually wanted us to play that next song that was about to cue. So you got to go back to the history.
Let us get through one good point. No, F it. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's right there, actually.
Right there.
Yep.
It's right there. Gotcha.
It was. Yep. Oh, quick couple shout outs, man. We got a quick shout out for let's take it back.
Yeah, we do gotta take it back on the shout out.
Rachel Hill, we appreciate that. Do we get Hellbat?
Nope.
Oh, we got a few more shout outs. So Hellbat shout out. He says mute them and say nothing. Another two.
It's been hilarious. He's hilarious, bro. It's like mute them, say nothing.
Too funny. Fear global cooling more than global warming. Actually, that is kind of funny.
Man, fear a nuclear holocaust, man, that comes with that global cooling.
Or coal ash fallout. Really, that's more dangerous. But shout out Rachel Hill. She says $10. Hey everyone, go like and subscribe. Appreciate the support, girl. Big Wave Dave 82. He said nope, let it play. Hell got another $2. He said should have hit the bet you still muted, brother. Yo, that's a members insider.
Oh god.
Shout out Big Wave Dave, $20, 46 and 2. Appreciate that. Baller alert. And Big Wave Dave another 2. He says your fault for letting it go.
And all right, man. Shout out Big Wave Dave for the video suggestion. Let's go ahead and move it along for this man finds another reason to stay here.
That motherfucker Dave's the type to see the next song and be like, nah, let it play. $10.
He's like, nah, I forgot how much of a banger that was. I'm like, dang.
Yo,
shout out.
Gotta like a guy like Dave, bro.
Man, I'm like, Dave done now got me banging my head every time it gets hard with the drum solo play. I don't know.
I'm rocking my shit like I still got my locks.
Man. All right, man, let's keep it going.
Children were subjected to abuse between the 80s and 2013. Why is it covered up?
Tommy Robinson has been deliberately amplified as a kind of hate figure. But why is Elon getting involved now? He's not wrong. And actually, this scandal, I don't think we've even seen the tip of the iceberg.
Elon is not even in it just for himself. He is a shill of the Chinese Communist Party.
I'm going to commend the right wing for having a civil war. You're supposed to disagree.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be robots. That means that they're thinking for themselves.
Hillary Clinton and George Soros got the Medal of Freedom, and I can't believe it. That is so ridiculous. That's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a Michelin star for outstanding diversity in cuisine. I still can't believe it. It is what it is.
Well, Happy New Year. It's fair to say that a lot has happened in the brief interlude since our last big show. And Elon Musk has found himself somewhere near pretty much all of it. He's currently calling on King Charles to dissolve Parliament in Britain. And he wants the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, jailed. He also threw Nigel Farage under a big red bus, saying he should no longer be a leader of reform. And he's turned the UK grooming scandal into a massive global story. We'll have a lot to say about that one over the next few days, but it was a pro-immigration take that put Musk at loggerheads with MAGA Puritans. Does the US economy need the brightest and best from around the world, or does America first mean no exceptions? We'll debate that. The US has also been rocked by 2 terror attacks, one using a cyber truck outside a Trump hotel. It's weeks before Trump's inauguration. Is America safe? And in an act of trolling that Musk himself might be proud of, President Biden doled out honors to Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and Bono. We'll debate all that as well and more, but we begin with a massive breaking story. The Prince of Woke himself, the purveyor of people kind, Justin Trudeau, has just announced he is quitting as the Prime Minister of Canada. Well, I'm joined now by the CEO and founder of the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, the opinion editor of Newsweek and the author of Second Class, How the Elites Betrayed America's Working Men and Women, Batia Ungar-Itagon, and the host of Gains for Girls on Outkick, Riley Gaines, and Vinny Ashana from the PBD podcast. Welcome to all of you and a very happy new year. A lot going on, obviously. Cenk, let's start with you with this breaking news that Justin Trudeau is to quit. And this comes after a collapse in his popularity. It also comes of...
All right, quick shout outs real quick. We got Big Wave Dave. He says, now play The Pop by Tool. We got it in the queue, bro. We're going to pull it up in just a second. Then he says another $2 just sending laughing emojis because he's a nut. And then another 10, and he says, be glad I'm doing this now, not when you want to sleep. That's actually a very good point.
He's a madman.
I think Set still is trying to catch up on sleep from, a couple nights ago. Yeah. A 6 a.m. day, goddammit. Shout out Dave, though.
Of course, in a period of the last 2 years where pretty much every liberal, woke, left-wing leader in the world has been kicked out of office.
3 days straight.
What do you make of it?
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of strong opinions about Justin Trudeau or Canada, but I do about the very last thing you said. It's not that the woke are being kicked out of office. Very progressive leaders elected in Mexico, Brazil, and other places. It's that insiders are being kicked out of office. If you're an incumbent, God help you, because the world wants change. They hate the status quo and the corporate rule that we live under, so they're constantly looking for new leadership. That's why they keep swinging wildly left to right, left to right. It's because they're looking for populism and they're not getting it from the establishment.
Okay, Vinny, I'm not as convinced as Cenk that that's the only reason. Justin Trudeau was about as woke as you could possibly get. I think we got a clip of him where a student tries to use the word mankind and Trudeau interrupts. Let's take a look.
Unfortunately, in Canada, our volunteering as a charitable religious organization is extremely difficult. Extremely. That's why, in actuality, we cannot do free volunteering to help our neighbors in need as we truly desire. So that's why we came here today to ask you to also look into the policies that religious charitable organizations have in our legislation so that it can also be changed, because maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look into
we
that.
like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because
yeah.
it's more inclusive.
There we go, exactly. Yes, thank you.
We can all learn from each other.
Goodness.
Actually, we can't, can we, Vinny? Because the last thing I want to learn is that we can't use mankind. Can you imagine if we have to redo?
That's how you know when he was going to be a failure, or just like that actually just was a good representation of how much of a failure he was. When you got a leader that's more concerned about gender affirming terms than he is about being an actual good goddamn leader, you know your country's set up for failure. You know your country's set up for failure.
I mean,
and there you have it, Justin Trudeau, a man who was more concerned about Taylor Swift concerts and bullshit like that than saving his goddamn country from burning.
I mean, even when his people are coming straight to you like, yo, we can't even afford to do volunteer work. That's tough.
Okay, it's okay.
Like, you people can't afford to be good Samaritans, your own people. That's a crazy environment right there.
And shout out last thing, man. He says 5. Smart ass.
Hey, hey, what can I say? Y'all catching me off guard with this. Let's go.
Refilm Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. One small step for a person, one giant leap for peoplekind, etc. Bullshit. That's why one of the reasons I think he's gone is that this woke nonsense, people are sick and tired of it. It's why Trump won big. Yes, because of the immigration crisis. Yes, because of cost of living crisis, but also.
And all right, before we get into the next point, though, because the next point with Pierce is the downfall of the Prince of Woke. We'll be right back after this musical interlude. Shout out Big Wave Dave. And if you want to send in any suggestions like Big Wave Dave, and just $10 and up, and we got you guys. But shout out Big Wave Dave. We're going to go ahead and play it. Tool.
Big Wave Dave. And now, before we get back to the show, we've had Leo in the queue for a minute. Want to get his takes on the videos we've covered and hear from our favorite token Canadian. What's going on, Leo?
Hey, it's going good. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, brother.
Just wanted to make a quick point about the Trudeau resignation. It will put us kind of in limbo. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with what's going to happen, but they'll do a leadership race for the next until March, and then elect a new Liberal leader who will be prime minister until we have our actual federal election later in the year, in which presumably Pierre will win. I mean, he's leading in all the polls, but I kind of to tie this to the American politics. The only reason I'm saying Pierre is not a slam dunk, even though he seems it, is that if Joe Biden had stepped out at this time last year and actually allowed Democrats to run for, actually have a proper election for who they want to run as the Democrat figure, then, maybe the Dems would have had a better chance. So if the Liberals can pick a better leader and maybe gain momentum, then it's not totally in Pierre's bag. But I mean, between you, me, and everyone else, it's probably in his bag.
I get what you're saying. It's pretty much saying like, well, with our election, we didn't let the Democrats have, I guess, the battle of the minds, what we call the primaries, where they go up there, they debate their points, and we see which one has the strongest point there. We didn't do that, and that's that definitely. So you're pretty much saying that. How are you guys going to implement that? Because you are saying that you guys aren't going to have a leader until March, or do you say somebody's going to be put in there until March? Just make sure.
Well, Trudeau. So when he said in his announcement, he's prorogued the government essentially, or Congress. So it kind of leaves our government in limbo, which is not very good given the state of our country right now. But he'll essentially preside until March, until they can have until they find a replacement. Now they could, if the NDP votes for no confidence, like the conservatives are wanting them to do, they could expedite this whole process. But the NDPs are more aligned with the liberals, so they might just wait and see if they can get a better pick, someone that might like more aligns with them.
Now, Leo, let me ask you real quick. You're Canadian, so obviously you probably have a deeper perspective on this. But was
Yeah.
this something that was foreseen? Like we kind of heard rumors of this. They flirted with the idea, but what was the word on the street, so to speak? Was this something that y'all knew was coming down the pipeline?
For Trudeau's resignation?
Yeah.
Yeah, like his finance minister dropped out like I guess almost less than a week ago. And the country's just been screaming at our government to fucking let him go, and it's about time that he finally listened. Maybe Trump did have a little bit of pressure put on him, but end of the day, this is just what most Canadians wanted and are thankful for. But it will be a kind of a tumultuous next few months
Now,
to see what happens.
okay, there is one question I did want to ask. Are we up for some pretty furious debates coming up in the next couple of months? Then, in the realm of Canada, in the realm of Canadian politics.
In the next few months, maybe not. They typically don't hold debates for like for party leadership. That will be kind of internal. But then once the
So nothing we can see.
Yeah, but once the election gets closer, we'll actually have our like the three main actually in this case the four main parties, because for those unaware, the Parti Québécois, which has historically kind of been a throwaway, only in Quebec they get votes. They're like polling almost second provincial, like first provincially and second almost federally. So that's kind of a crazy turn of events for us. But yeah, you'll get a.
All right, hold on. And I want your
Yeah.
personal opinion on something. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is Canada's leader to America?
And to add to the discussion as well, guys, I'm bringing Dave in on this.
How important is Canada's leader to the U.S.?
Yeah. Like, is this something that we honestly need to pay attention to?
I think you'd be best.
Always pay attention to your neighbors.
Yeah, you want strong relations with your neighbor, and you want a neighbor that plays ball with your economic policy and things. So it is important, I think. Like it seems more from our side, whoever's the US president, because you guys have a lot more influence and pull. But on our side, we do control massive amounts of resources in which we sell to you, in which we, make a lot of money respectively, both of us, from these resources. So it is important that there's good relations and that both leaders are kind of on the same track.
Okay, so
Now,
you would give it somewhere in that seven to like
yeah,
9
sorry,
out of
out of 10, yeah, I'd say it's around the 7.5 mark.
Perfect. All right, perfect.
Leo's not wrong.
So with that being said, this kind of prefaces my question: how pro-Trump will y'all next leaders be?
Pierre
is not pro-Trump.
He's not. He's kind of scoffed at the whole 51st state thing. Whether kind of he sees it as a joke and kind of just intimidation, which is what I think it is.
Oh yeah, Leo, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's just kind of fucking around because Trump's got a big mouth. But
yeah, he's an ass like me, so that's the way it works.
But I don't know, Pierre. I think on immigration policies they're fairly aligned. I don't know if Pierre will do deportations like Trump. He'll probably just lower and kind of cut off immigration like massively, because we have had per capita.
Leo.
Sorry?
I said, now question, is he a fascist for that?
No, not at all, because
of course not.
we've imported like a quarter of our population are immigrants, and within this almost 4-year period since COVID, we have imported like 1 million people, which for our small population is just ridiculous. And that's why it's strained our housing and our and our healthcare system so much, is because we just have so many people. We can't look after all of them, and we promised them that they'd have a better life here.
Hey,
and
Leo.
and that's not fascist at all to stop that. No.
Leo.
Yeah, Dave.
I told you I'd turn you, bro.
Well, you didn't turn me, Dave. I mean,
we're about the same. It just
the
pissed
most
me off when we had the conversation. You were talking about like American politics, and then I found out you're Canadian. I'm like, fuck you. Your opinion
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Dave, I learned firsthand just to not touch the issue of guns anymore.
Yeah, yo, and Leo, that is our biggest like difference, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's why when I feel comfortable, talking more economically, immigration, stuff like that, because
Yes.
we do share those
Yep.
issues and
We
corruption
agree.
in our governments. We share those issues.
We agree.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
guns is definitely one where the culture
Yeah,
is so different up
we
here.
don't agree, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, well, and just the culture, Canadian gun culture is just different by and large. And I don't agree with the gun restrictions that Trudeau put in, and the handgun
Yeah.
freeze.
Yo, he killed me with that. I
Yeah,
wanted to like
I love
I
to hear
wanted
that
to
cooler heads have prevailed since y'all's first debate. I mean,
Oh
civility
no,
and
no.
camaraderie is what I'm
The
hearing
thing
here.
that pissed me off about Leo the most is he was like, "Yeah, I was a Bernie bro." Like, and I'm like, "Okay, so you're American, all right." He was a Bernie bro. He wanted this and that, like socialism type thing, and then but no, he just liked Bernie for whatever reason, and
Well, it
I
was
like
once you
Bernie's
found out he was
message.
Canadian.
I like Bernie's message out of the politicians that ran in that 2016 election or whatever.
Yeah.
I resonated more with him, and because when we have our healthcare system, and Bernie kind of echoes that he wants something more like that, I would agree with that, but it's just
okay, yeah,
I
but
will
it's been
say, yo,
overrun, correct?
Bernie, he was pretty likable. I mean,
it
shit, we
was
could all
what's
use a
been
break on
overrun,
that.
Dave.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I don't hate Bernie, right?
Yeah.
But it's just not gonna fucking work.
Well, and my main point I would say to this is that you guys are the U.S. You are the most powerful and arguably the most prosperous and
Oh shucks,
greatest
Leo,
country in the world, quote
you're
unquote,
making me
right?
blush, bro.
Right. So if you guys want to make healthcare accessible to people, you don't have to copy any country. You can do it in a way.
Blueprint for this
You
shit.
can do it your own way and innovate your own system that works for everyone, because I think we can agree your system is not working for everyone and
It is not, bro.
needs reform and needs overhaul. So I'm not saying oh, just copy ours, copy Scandinavia's, because y'all are better than
See,
that, in my opinion.
see, Leo, this is why I like you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I found out you're Canadian, and I got shit off my chest. It will happen. But since we've been talking, we're good now, right?
Yeah, dude. There's no beef. There's no ill will. We
I
talk shit
love it. I love
sometimes.
it. This is damn near like self promo for Set and Keep membership, man. We bringing brothers together across country lines. Don't matter if you Canadian, goddamn it, it don't matter, man. Set and Keep
Fucking
membership.
A,
We
that's
got
what it's
brothers
all about.
across.
Hey, that's
all
not you
legal
guys.
areas.
That's me and Leo. Fuck you too.
Come on, Dave. Let me get my promo on.
All right, yeah, all right. Get after it.
No. Hey, but Leo, we appreciate you joining the call, man. We're gonna keep going. Dave, we're gonna keep you on because we got somebody that wants to have a word with you. What's going on, Steph?
Oh, Steph wants to have a word with me.
I did not say I wanted to have a word with him. I said,
No,
if you got,
Steph, what word do you want to have with me? What do you got to say?
that's not what I said. If you go back in the chat,
I'm
thing
joking. I'm joking. Relax.
You dickhead.
Woosah.
You just in New Jersey. Don't make me come over there.
Yeah, I'm not too far from you. I'll still curb stomp you if you come to my house.
Nick says that old girl.
He's like, I don't care. Nice ass neighborhoods still have curves.
There's still teeth to stomp on the curb. Let's go.
Shut
What's
up.
up, Steph? I know, I'm joking.
You already know you'll give me a hug.
I would.
All right. Is there anything you wanted to add, though, Steph, to the conversation?
Well, I also agree with Leo. There's a lot more that we could be doing, but we're not doing. I've been saying that for a very long time, we could be making even more our own clothes, our own shit, our own electronics, our own. I mean, near everything, we could be making our own,
Hey,
but we
Steph, one
don't.
sec. Steph, one sec. I've been saying since I've been coming to this channel, if you don't start at your local and vote local, you can't expect a big change. It's never going to happen. You can't sit there and, oh, I want this president. That president is not going to do shit for you if you don't vote local.
Yeah, like Donald Trump can't do nothing for you if you're in a liberal city. Most likely.
I live in New Jersey. I'm
Or if
fucked.
your representative don't share any of his ideology.
Exactly. They keep voting fucking Andy Kim in here for fucking Congress or Senate or whatever the fuck he's at now. I try and vote those fuckers out. They still remain. Phil Murphy. I tried to vote that fucker out. He's still fucking here. Thankfully, he's gone after this next election coming up. But now there's another liberal coming in. I guarantee you he wins because New Jersey is fucking corrupt.
Right. It's been corrupt for how long?
If you look at the congressional map, and Senki, I've had you pull this up before. Can you pull that up again? Like the congressional map, the one where it shows like every district and what was red, what was blue.
Yep, no problem.
Show that. It's like that and California. Show both. Because I'm on the East Coast California at this point with New Jersey.
Yes, sure. Gotcha. So we're talking about New Jersey.
Yeah, look at all the fucking red.
Here, go ahead.
Right? But you see what controls it, right? I'm sorry, my county went blue. And my county is the go down right there. No, down right there.
Where it's
Up.
deep blue.
Do you see that big one? No, the big one. Yeah, that one. That's my county.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
Oh,
They went fucking blue.
Right next to the county for Atlantic City?
No, that's Burlington County.
Yeah,
right next to it. Right next to it, though.
Yeah. But yeah, so you see all that red around it, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's all okay. So you know what's also in. Okay, so you have Burlington County, which is the big one, right? The one just to the south. That's Camden County.
Camden?
You know, Camden, New Jersey. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's where Camden is.
Okay.
And then, you know what's fucked up? You go up north.
We go up north.
And to the left, that's Trenton. Trenton turned fucking red. How the fuck does that fucking happen?
Hey, man, I guess you're close enough to Pennsylvania.
And Pennsylvania's all red.
It's like they didn't
Maybe-
add it to Pennsylvania or something.
Hey, it looks like you need to move to Pennsylvania there.
Oh, fuck no. I
Wait,
can't
Dave,
move
aren't
anywhere.
Oh.
You know, so
I'm
funny,
stuck in this fucking state until my kid turns 18, unfortunately.
Dave, aren't you originally from Cali, though?
What's that?
Aren't you originally Cali?
I was born in Cali. Yeah. LA County.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, look at that, man. Well, at least
No, I'm aware. I'm fully aware. Like I said, just like New Jersey, Cali is the same. All this red, but the most populated states turn, or not states, but the most populated areas turn blue. That's the reason for the
Fresno.
what-
That ain't nothing.
for the I'm drawing a blank. The collegiate something the
Oh no. What I was
you know what I'm talking about?
Honestly, I'm honestly hinged on the point where you're like, when you're saying that Well, yeah, as you're seeing, all the major cities here, except for Fresno's, is in the honestly is in the blue. So
Yeah.
when you say a majority of California is actually red, but then you got these highly populated areas that are blue, it's the truth. I honestly do see what people are talking about. So it is nice to know you can go to Cali and it's not as liberal as you think it would be. Well, if you go anywhere else besides the major cities.
Well, the other part is, all right, so now look at Texas.
I mean,
and you know where all the people from California, they went to the major cities in Texas. Now, thankfully, Texas is so big, those fuckers can suck my nuts. They can't do shit about it.
And shout out Blasting $2. He says, look at Illinois as well.
Gotcha.
Oh shit, yeah, bro. With Chicago, yeah.
Did Illinois not update their stuff?
Oh, they're blocking it now, are they?
That's interesting.
Cool. Interesting. Yeah, I know. It was just showing us it, and now they're going like, "Oh well, okay."
Wow.
Hey, you know what? You know, when weird things happen, you just want to mow past them sometimes.
And shout out Mr. Doc Hill. He says, "Let me in, coach." Means he wants to get
go.
added to the
Let's go, Doc.
But I'll go ahead and see if I can bring that back.
What's going on, Doc?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
We can hear you, brother.
All right. Yeah, I think you were trying to say Electoral College earlier.
There you go. Thank you. I'm sorry. I've had a few drinks.
I could tell. But
and I'm still being nice, isn't it?
That is so cool, Dave. So cool. But I think with
thanks, Doc. I appreciate it.
I think we've seen a change, and I think I mentioned it before because the left just went so left that even people that were from these liberal states are like, wait a minute, I'm not signing up for that. And so,
unless you're certain people that are in chat, but sure, go ahead.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah,
and because a lot of my friends that have been diehard Democrats, just died in the blue, just never going to change. Turn over this year, either not to vote or to vote the other side. Just didn't want to tell anybody.
That in
So
counties.
I think it's going to keep changing for a while.
I hope so, Doc. I hope that the pendulum swings the other fucking way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now, look, I hope it doesn't go so hard the other way, but we need to find some sort of center here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
Oh damn! Now I'm looking at it, but now, Vlasky told us to look at Illinois, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the major cities that control the states.
Yeah, they have the votes.
The major cities hold the states hostage, and that's why a lot of states that aren't actually Democrat end up coming up as Democrat because the cities have
That's
higher
the point of the
population.
Electoral College. You can't have major cities just controlling the country.
Yeah, Illinois was within 500,000 votes of flipping red, which is surprising because it's usually like 1 million at least for Democrats.
Wait, I was going to say, doesn't Illinois also, isn't that one of the states that was listed for not checking for valid ID?
There were certain counties that you didn't have to have ID.
Oh, yeah. So that vote difference was probably illegals. I mean,
yeah.
Don, look, okay,
to be
whatever.
honest.
Look, Don, look, I live in New Jersey. Don't get me started on that because they give illegals driver's licenses. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. They give illegals driver's licenses and ask them if they want to register to vote in New Jersey.
Don't worry. We had the same thing here. We had illegals show up at the polls in my part of PA, which they do check for ID here, but some parts of PA they don't. Cough, cough. Liberal areas.
You know what's funny about Jersey, Dons? They said it's illegal for them to ask for ID. They said you can show it, but it's illegal for us to ask for it.
Why is it illegal to ask for? Wait, we need to delve into this one.
That's in New Jersey.
Why?
Because Governor Murphy made it illegal.
I was gonna say, Set and Key. What was that whole argument about identification? Identification is racist because not all minority groups would have access to them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we've had that conversation many times
Dude,
before.
that stuff killed me when I
Yeah.
heard that.
Hey,
I was like,
Set
Black
Key.
people don't know how to get licenses.
Yeah. Well, they were
Hey,
trying to
Set and Key. You guys have ID?
Oh goddamn! Oh god, I better have ID. Shit.
I was gonna say
Damn.
I have a state ID and a driver's license and a real
Bro, if you don't
ID.
have
Like,
ID, you can't have a job. Like, for real.
yeah, I got a state ID, driver's license, and real ID. Like,
At least if you're an American.
Hey, guys, one sec. This is what Democrats want to tell people, though, is that black people are disenfranchised and they can't get driver's licenses or state IDs. It's beyond them, or they can't use computers. They don't know how to.
But don't you know that white or poor kids are just as smart as
You're
white kids?
suggesting that black people are so disenfranchised, so broke that we can't afford a $20 ID.
$8.
dude, wait, no. You know what makes it funny, Set and Key? There are literal government programs that anybody can get approved of if you just apply to them. You can go to the DMV and they can give you. Yeah, they can use Yes, every state does it for people who are less fortunate and may not have the extra money to scrape together to buy an ID. There's government programs.
Tell people
Yeah, and you can go to like your local fucking what's it called, Salvation Army or like a church, and they have these programs. They're like, hey, I need money to get a state identification card or my driver's license, and they will pay for you to get them. And they have government funded money readily available to do this.
Okay, again, still, Don.
You know, it's so funny though.
This
If you
is
told me when I was 20 years old that, hey, yo, they literally think it's hard for black people to get IDs. I'd have literally told you that a Republican talking point. If you told me that was Democrat, I'd have been shocked. I'd have been in shock. Like, ain't no way they're saying.
Hey, I'm pretty sure
Set.
you would have looked at the dude and been like, "You're racist."
Set. No, honestly, that's a racist thing to fucking say. Like, okay, yeah, the black people can't afford it. They can't do it. They don't know how. Like, that's racist as fucking shit. That's like the fucking basis for them trying to, voter ID laws are fucking racist. How fucking so? How is that fucking racist? I don't fucking get it. Can somebody please explain it to me?
I mean, if we go down my personal beliefs, I think you should have to take a test and answer specific questions to even be able to get the right to vote. But you know,
Well,
not
isn't that
everyone's
kind of
going to
like
agree with
along
that.
the same lines as the mayor of Chicago saying that the bridges were racist?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Well, that's like people saying math is racist and that literature is racist. Like anything that forces you to learn now is just racist. What are you trying to say to black people, bro?
Okay, yeah. At the end of the day, if everything is racist, nothing is fucking racist, right?
Oh, I'm
No,
God.
actually, that is it. Yeah. That is the juxtaposition that they kind of put themselves in, like
paradox.
Well, yeah, if everything's racist, then nothing's racist at the same time.
See, I told you, I'm always right.
They done stepped into the paradox.
And that's a white guy. I know I have white privilege and all that, but I'm always right.
I'm weak.
Fuck you, Seth.
Don't worry. Dave Boy's been right.
You are now entering the Twilight Zone.
Because I have the same belief.
Do.
But all right, guys. Let's keep it going here. We're gonna go ahead and play this Pierce Morgan and let's see here.
All right, just mute us. Just mute us. Don't kick us out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, whenever I'm gonna mute myself in a sec. Whenever I see Sank, I get the urge to puke.
I'm done. All right, shout out to supporters, man. Appreciate you guys.
Because people are sick of this crap.
I agree, Piers. First of all, New Year's, Happy New Year's, Piers, and thank you for always having me on. I appreciate you more than you know. Yeah, Piers, it's like the proof is in the pudding. Piers, people are just freaking done. I'm on an app called Connect that Pat created a while ago where people could connect with professionals. I cannot tell you how many Canadians I get. I'm talking about in the hundreds, Piers, that have been complaining about this guy for years. Just he's horrible, he's woke, the policies. It's like you have to worry about the country first, put the people first, talking about the mankind to that girl. I think it's just another example of enough is enough. The people have finally spoken. They are tired of it, and they're moving on from people like Justin Trudeau. And I think it's a huge plus for Canadians and on the global scale as well.
Yeah, I mean, Batty, apparently the popularity collapse was because of record inflation, an acute housing crisis, high food prices, voter fatigue, as Cenk said, with incumbent politicians. But recent polling had his Liberal Party at 16% support, the worst pre-election standing in more than a century, and they have an election coming. So no surprise really that he's gone. But how much do you think there is a pattern here, not just of incumbents getting a shellacking, but also this, look, I don't like to use woke without explaining what I mean has happened to it, because I wrote a whole book about this called Wake Up 3 years ago. Woke was, in its original incarnation, a great thing. It was to make people more aware of social and racial injustice. By that criteria, I'm woke. But it's been hijacked. And as somebody who's always in my head thought I'm more liberal than not, it got hijacked to an extent where I just felt I had nothing in common with these people. You know, the whole trans debate of trans women in sport and so on. And I think we saw that in the election result in America. I think we're seeing it in Trudeau getting kicked out. What do you feel here? Am I right? Is this part of the reason why so many of the progressive left are getting thrown out?
Thank you so much for having me, Pierce. It's really an honor to be here with you and with all my fellow panelists. I'm so looking forward to this. Happy New Year to you and to your audience.
Well, how civilized of you. And by the way, it's not normally that civilized. In fact, normally, Cenk is screaming at me within the first 5 minutes. So can I just say, we've all reached a new place here. Smiley, happy panel. It won't last, but I'll take it for now. So thank you.
I love Cenk. We don't agree on much, but I'm so glad to be here with him. He's my favorite person to debate. So Cenk, I'm so excited for this. To the question of the woke. So I am a little bit of a woke analysis skeptic here. I think we are in a populist moment, like Cenk said, where left and...
All right, go ahead and read out my man. Foxes. He said, like Muhammad Ali said, it's not racist to love your race or racist to want your kids to look like you. I always did say that, and
it really isn't.
And it was one of my my best white friend Danny. I was over there cooking out with him, and his dad pretty much explained. He's like, "Look, I'm not racist. I just believe that black people should be with black people, white people should be with white people." And I was like, you know what? The fact that you got me over here, you done treat me to a dinner. You done been a real one to me ever since I met you. I'm like, I know you're not racist. So you saying this, it kind of introduced me to the idea of, okay, yeah, you can just want black people to be with black people, white people to be with white people, and not be racist. It is okay to want your kids to look like you, or to have all your traits, or to be a thoroughbred, if you want to say it like that.
And shout out, we did want to get a quick word from Dave on this one. He said he had something to add.
All right.
Oh shit! Yeah, you kind of caught me here. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 sec. Shit. The fuck was I? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look at the comments here. Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. All right. So for all you fucking idiots that are still chiming in to the trolls, stop it. I've said it in Discord. You all keep like feeding into them like they're children. They want attention. Keep giving them attention. They're going to stay here. Now, look, if y'all are having fun messing with them, have at it. But at the end of the day, y'all should stop. Just saying. Okay, that's my point I want to make. Have at it. Let's go.
Oh,
all right, Dave.
Mine said, mature. Like maturity upgrades are needed.
Right, are coming together. This moment is the working class versus the elites. And the working class, yeah, they don't like the wokeness, but they don't vote on that stuff. They are voting on their pocketbooks. They are voting on immigration, which if you are working class is an economic issue. This is what I learned when I traveled the country for a year interviewing working class people for my book, Second Class, How the Elites Betrayed America's Working Men and Women. I found that people did have conservative views on woke issues, but much more important to them were, first of all, a very tolerant view when it came to racial issues, when it came to gay issues. They didn't want to see intolerance. They didn't support abortion bans, even when they themselves were pro-life. But also, immigration and economics were one and the same thing, and that's what you're seeing here. To me, Trudeau is being punished now for his COVID overreach, for his liberal authoritarianism that really hurt working class people.
Yeah, I think that's also true. But Riley, you know, I remember after the US election, that incredible report coming out in the New York Times about the power of one commercial. And it was the they-them commercial, the infamous one, where the Trump campaign for the last 3 months bombarded Americans with this campaign ad, 30 seconds, which went down as one of the most effective in history, where they basically laid out this whole trans debate and said, look, you're either for they, them, Kamala, or Trump is for you. Which one do you want it to be? They reckon in the New York Times that could have moved the needle 3 points. I mean, extraordinary power of one commercial. So I think that the woke stuff did play quite a significant part. And I do think it's also played a part with Trudeau.
I absolutely think so too. I think of Trudeau and I think he was like the first world leader to appear in the RuPaul Drag Race franchise. And I'll tell you, I had the opportunity to listen to a little bit of his resignation speech before jumping on here. And the things he highlighted as his greatest achievement.
Justin Trudeau was on RuPaul's Drag Race?
On RuPaul? What?
That's what she just said. He was the first leader to appear on RuPaul's Drag Race, popular show for drag queens.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'd have to look that up to verify, but goddamn.
He was dragging.
The Steins were always there with that man.
Oh, that's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment to the country right there.
Like I said, you're aloof metrosexual uncle.
I mean, every fellow Canadian should be highly upset.
God damn, it's time for him to go.
Bro, if I ever found out my
president,
president,
take with that shit.
If I ever found out my president was on a drag.
I don't even care if he was there as a guest host. Like, bro, what were you doing there?
It's like, bro, America. Like, what the hell are you doing?
It's like we were saying, bro. Anything but lead the country. Anything but lead the goddamn country.
Anything but help the people.
While serving as prime minister was funding for Ukraine and climate change. Again, it just highlights how out of touch with reality our leaders, global leaders, are from everyday common sense people. What I'm sure Canadians want, because again, I'm speaking as an American, what I know Americans want, we want lower taxes, we want affordable living, we want secure borders, we want world peace, we want to protect our freedoms. So to highlight climate change and funding for Ukraine, I mean, I think largely this is a huge reason as to why he was ousted.
Well, let's turn to probably the biggest story of the last month, Cenk, which is Elon Musk, who is putting himself at the center of pretty much every debate now, not just in America, but here in the UK. He's been on the assault all week on tweet storm after tweet storm.
Man, and shout out Hellbat. He said, what's 1 + 1, 2 + 2, 3 + 3, and 4 + 4? If none of them equals a number, I'll wait. By the way, it's been said many times.
You asking chat or you asking us?
I mean, you never know. Shout out Hellbat, though. And shout out Chance, though. He says, man, Trudeau and Zelensky, both of them zesty men.
Man.
I mean, oh God, though.
Bati boy.
I mean, Zelensky in the tight suit dancing, and now we got this man participating in drag performances and all that. AKA cross-dressing activities, AKA homosexual activity. Okay, now I'm going too far, but let's go.
Demanding the prime minister be jailed, hammering a previous prime minister, Gordon Brown, as well, calling for the King, Charles III, to dissolve parliament, which he can't actually do. Some of it is ill-informed, like the example I just gave, but some of it, his attack about the grooming gangs, the rape gang scandal, which has engulfed Britain now for many years. I think he's got a point, and he's certainly inflaming the debate to a point where there may be urgent national inquiry into what actually happened here, which is long overdue. But Elon Musk, he's gone from being this tech bro billionaire genius who does a range of amazing things to now he's Trump's right-hand guy. He's unelected. And he's now wanting to directly immerse himself into the politics of other countries. We saw it in Germany last week. We're seeing it in the UK now and so on. Is this a good thing for Elon Musk, for Donald Trump? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think Elon Musk is a complicated character. So people can be smart in some ways and not so informed in other ways. And so he might know how to run SpaceX and Starlink really well.
Oh, and shout out Dave. He said these trolls are good at what they do. Not gonna lie, they bring up stuff to entice you dummies, and I see it even if you don't. Dang. He said he peeped the play from a mile away. He's like a good coach. I don't know. You can't get ahead of this, man. Shout out Big Way Dave.
But we've seen his flaws. We saw way overpaid for Twitter. But I think that one of the things that he discovered, Piers, is, oh my God, I paid $44 billion for an amplifier in the form of Twitter, now X. But for $250 million, I bought the U.S. government because he gave a little over $250 million to Donald Trump, and now he's in charge of all of the spending in the United States with his so-called Doge thing, which is not a thing really. It's made up by Donald Trump. It's just a way of giving his biggest donor the American government. And so Elon Musk is doing something that's rational now. He's going around seeing how many governments can he purchase, bully, intimidate, and do propaganda against and get his way. And in a sense, he's A/B testing. I can see it as a person who runs a digital media company. He's putting out messages against the left, the right, the middle, every way you can, and seeing what reaction he gets back. And based on the reaction, he then doubles down in one direction and then retracts in another direction. Remember, he originally was against Donald Trump. And after A/B testing on X, he decided to be for Donald Trump. So does he really have an ideology? No, not really. His ideology is what makes Elon Musk richer. So I think that if you're on the right, you've got to be concerned that you've got an out-of-control donor here who is kind of taking over the U.S. government and looking to take over more governments.
Right. I mean, you make the point he paid $44 billion for Twitter, now X, but it's estimated he's made $100 billion from the surge in the stock price of Tesla off the back of Trump's win. And he helped Trump win by promoting him so aggressively on X. So you could see there that just as a straight bet on Trump, he has more than made double his money back on the investment on X through his stock in Tesla. So it's an interesting game that Elon is playing. I mean, Vinny, I think Elon's a genius, but he has that Trump-like very thin skin. We saw it with the extraordinary confrontation with Nigel Farage, who was posting pictures of the two of them at Mar-a-Lago only 3 weeks ago.
And shout out Big Wave Dave. He said, hey, let me pick the stream. I'm like, all right, well, which one? You want in the Discord? All right, let's go.
Like they were best buddies. And there were reports that Elon may put £100 million into Farage's Reform Party in the UK, which is the most right-wing party, fledgling but growing in momentum and support. And now suddenly out of nowhere, because he won't support this character, Tommy Robinson, who, by the way, I think Elon is wrong to support, because he said that, Elon is immediately turned on him and said, right, in that case, he's the wrong guy to run Reform. Do you feel comfortable with all this stuff that Elon's doing?
Well, Piers, just to go back to what Cenk was talking about, let's talk about other billionaires who donated to the Biden administration, the $200 million Zuckerbucks, the Soroses, the Bezoses. Listen, he spent $40-some billion so that people like me and people like you can speak freely about these problems. Okay, and I think what he's doing, and I respect you, Piers. The Tommy Robinson thing, people have mixed emotions. Pointing out atrocities by a certain group of people doesn't.
All right, Big Wave Dave. You know what? Shoot, we can go ahead. Hey, let me pick the stream. I got you. Okay, so Clockwork Orange, being as you dummies haven't watched it yet. And you know what? How y'all guys feel about that? How y'all guys feel? Because Big Wave Dave, he big dogging it right now. So how do y'all feel, members? It's either I'm a racist or Clockwork Orange. Because I got both of them up. Now, just because.
Doesn't make you racist. I have a little fact. So in Rotherham, and you know this, Rotherham alone, there were estimated 1,400 children were subjected to abuse between the 80s and 2013. 1,400. And why is it covered up? What's the purpose of hiding it? Because you don't want to say that the certain groups were Pakistani Muslim men. We have to say what it is.
Well, that is what happened.
Glad
I mean, that is exactly what happened. There was a massive cover-up. It wasn't a cover-up by the mainstream media, though. To be accurate about this, it was the Times newspaper in the UK who burst the story. They exposed it originally at the start of 2011. Tommy Robinson then latched onto it, and he's not been wrong about the rape gangs at all. The problem is, I think in America, there is a belief amongst many Americans, the conservatives I've seen talking about this, that Tommy Robinson is currently in a British prison because he exposed the rape gangs. It's got nothing to do with why he's in prison. He's in prison for brazenly and repeatedly being in contempt of court over a young Syrian refugee boy who was bullied at school and lying about him. So I just think it's important that Americans, when they debate this, understand there are two different things here. One, Tommy Robinson and why he's in prison. But secondly, that Tommy Robinson, along with many other people, has been absolutely right about the rape gangs.
I was already one step ahead of you. Big Wave David, one step ahead. And honestly, Tommy Robinson and the UK grooming gang, yeah, I can believe that. And it's been coming out crazy. And it's funny how this man's coming out against all the things that they kind of want to hide from the UK, and he's getting arrested for it. He's getting brought up on charges. I mean, hey, you can say what you want about the man. He's speaking on some pretty important topics, especially when it comes to public safety. And I would think that, his fellow UK or his fellow Brits would stand behind this man. But it kind of shows where some of these people alliance truly lies. Like, do y'all really care about y'all people, or y'all just BSing?
Okay, here, but let me ask you a question.
By the way, I agree that we shouldn't be too politically correct. Let's blame all the Catholic priests for monstrous abuse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's not spare the Catholics and their leadership and their grotesque child abuse decade after decade, century after century. So let's blame the Catholic priests most of all. And then move on.
I agree.
Well, yeah, but the Catholic priests have nothing to do with it. Look, the scandal in Britain, the grooming scandal or rape scandal is what we should be calling it, because these girls were raped, and tens of thousands may have been victims here. It was horrendous, and the people who were perpetrating this were almost exclusively British Pakistani Muslims, right? And so that has been the issue that was covered up. People from council level to police, to other authorities, to governments, they were not prepared to get properly into this scandal because they were terrified of the feedback and the bounce back and blowback they may get if they said who was actually doing this. Vinny.
Okay, so Pierce, great point, Pierce. So these poor girls were raped and abused for all those years, but because you couldn't say that these guys were Muslim.
Got you. And Big Wave Dave, he says, I will stay awake to see the response to Clockwork. And I ain't gonna lie, Big Wave Dave, I'm gonna have to treat you how the liberals do Donald Trump. Will you accept the results of the poll? Will you accept the results of the election, Big Wave Dave? Will you accept the results? Because in a way, it's kind of up to you.
It just, everybody turned the cheek because of people's feelings. That's absolutely nonsense. And I saw Tommy Robinson's documentary, Silence. And if anybody has watched it, you can't find it on YouTube. It's on X. He goes undercover and questions all the people in that school of that Syrian kid, and all of the majority of them said that kid was a bully. He was mean.
But hang on. Okay, but here's the point.
Girls.
Okay, but Vinny, let me stop you. Yes, he does. I've watched Silence. I'm in it. He has a go at me, which is fine, because I was on Good Morning Britain at the time talking about this. Here's the problem. He repeats in the film a series of things which are lies. That's why he's been found in contempt of court, and that's why he's been put in prison. And the reason we know he's lying is that he was sued by the Syrian refugee in a court, and a judge, in a very lengthy verdict and conclusion, which I read in full. And I recommend, by the way, that you and everybody else watching this goes away and takes the time to read the full judgment from the judge. All 5 of the witnesses that Robinson produced in court were discredited by the judge. He said they're not credible.
And members, make sure to check out that poll, man. Make sure to check the poll out. We're going to go by that.
He said a lot of them are making
Discord watch party. So shout out to Big Wave Dave.
Stuff up completely. The attempt by Robinson to portray the Syrian refugee boy as the villain, not the victim, was a lie. The boy who was accused of bullying him was thrown out of the school because of his previous prior record and this incident before it ever got made public. This incident, which came through a viral video. So, yeah, people in America do look at Tommy Robinson in a very different way to how we do here. The reason Nigel Farage has disowned him, and was nothing to do with him, is we see through him. Tommy Robinson is a convicted football hooligan who was convicted of beating up a police officer, leading a riot He is somebody who's been guilty of mortgage fraud. He's been somebody who was guilty of forging a passport to get into America because he couldn't travel because of his criminal record. He's been found in contempt of court twice for nearly wrecking trials of the grooming gangs, where he turned up and was saying defamatory things at the courtroom, which nearly led to the whole case being collapsed. And now he's been found in contempt of court for repeating lies about this Syrian boy in this film Silence, which has been viewed over 150 million times. So I understand why people in America have got a slightly warped view of Robinson, but I can tell you that is the reality. And so it changes things when you know the reality.
Can I jump in here for a minute, Piers?
Yeah, you can. I'll bring in Betty. Cenk has left us to just switch his camera. He's having problems with his camera. He will be back. He hasn't fled in disgust. So yeah, Betty, on this point.
I think it's very important that we ask, why are Americans talking about this 10-year-old case all of a sudden with so much vigor and so much interest? And the answer is because, as you led with, Piers, Elon Musk decided that this was going to be his cause du jour. And the reason that he decided that, it seems to me, is to distract from the massive debate that he launched about H-1B visas when he sided with foreign workers over American workers, and the fact that in response to criticism, he has begun censoring people on Twitter in exactly the same way that conservatives used to be censored on Twitter under the old regime. And in order to change the subject, he has decided to talk about this decade-old case in Britain and take up this character. And you are right. You are both right. It's not Islamophobic for people in England to debate this. But you know what I will not stand for? What will make somebody my enemy is if people in America decide to talk about our Muslim neighbors and friends.
Your Muslim neighbors are causing problems, okay? Okay. How are we your enemy? Or is anybody your enemy for just saying what it is? It's like, yo, these Muslim people are coming in, they're disrespecting the culture. I've seen videos of Muslim people in the UK pretty much saying, yeah, we're going to outbred you guys. We're going to have more kids than you guys. It's going to be our country. Disrespectful as hell. They let you into their country and you're going to disrespect them like that? It's crazy work. So when you say your Muslim neighbors, I'm going like, I'm pretty sure there's some good Muslims out there. But the problem is that admittedly, it's the Muslims that are effing you guys up in your social cohesion. So as much as you want to sit here and say, oh, you're my enemy for sitting here talking about my Muslim neighbor, I'll be like, no, sweetheart, you're pretty much your own enemy for egging on the people who are low-key destroying your society.
And co-Americans who have nothing to do with this, and because a billionaire is throwing a tantrum and trying to change the subject, will suddenly start talking about people in a totally different country in a way that makes my neighbors feel uncomfortable, my neighbors feel unsafe in America. And I think that's a really important point to make.
Yeah, I do. I think it is a good point. I also think that Tommy deliberately amplified as a kind of hate figure by those who have a lot to hide in this scandal, because it suits them, because he is so discredited that he's the front man for this whole scandal, when in fact there is a genuine scandal that's been going on for many years. I mean, you may say, why is Elon getting involved now? I agree.
He said, okay, you all suck. Sound of freedom wins. He said, you all suck. Sound of freedom wins. Yeah, but it is looking like by the poll, it is looking like I Am Racist by Matt Walsh. And hey, man, Big Wave Dave said, I will accept the results of the poll, even though he's on demon.
However, he's not wrong. And actually, this scandal, I don't think we've even seen the
Sound of Freedom. Wait, is actually a whole new movie? No,
tip of the iceberg of accountability. Not a single person in authority who was part of the cover-up has been held properly accountable or been put in prison. That is a disgrace. Riley, how do you feel about Elon Musk? I mean, he's a complex character. I've met him. He's a genius. He's very thin-skinned, but he's brilliant, and he can be terrible, right? He can be all those things.
Yeah, that's right, Piers. Here, really quickly, let me just address what is going on with this grooming case, or as you said, this horrific, I mean, that's to put it mildly, really gang raping situation that has been going on in the UK. Just because it's been happening for over a decade does not make it any less I guess, condemnable. And so I appreciate his efforts. I appreciate how he has drawn attention to this. As you know, Piers, I'm married to a Brit. He came over to the United States about 6 years.
My bad. But it is a bit crazy what is going on there in UK. Like their own political leaders are turning Muslim. These people don't even know what it is to mean British no more, to be a Brit no more. That is crazy. When you let in so much Muslims that we even got political leaders turning Brit. Oh man. I mean turning Muslim. Political leaders, UK, Muslim, as they're flooding more of them in. Crazy. Crazy. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, but did not know it was muted for a second there. But let's see here. He said, Sound of Freedom's on my voodoo set. Well, I'm sorry, guys. And Big Wave Dave has big dogged it. I got you.
Years ago, we've been married for just about 3 years now.
Freedom wins.
Even being married 3 years, he does not have his green card. There's no even talks of getting his green card because he will not get the COVID vaccine, but that's a different conversation. But what the UK has done is, I think they've proven they're more interested in prosecuting you for a Facebook post that they don't like than a group of Pakistani men for gang raping 1,400 young girls in one city. Again, the reports, the excerpts of the transcripts of the trial are sickening. It literally made me feel sick to my stomach. I probably couldn't even repeat this stuff on your program. But here's what I'll say about Elon to answer your question.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What I appreciate about him is he says his stuff openly. There's transparency, there's accountability. That's very different than the other billionaires that were mentioned, like Gates and BlackRock and Soros, who do all of their stuff behind the scenes, behind closed doors, and they cannot be held to account. So if we're talking about who we trust here, I'm trusting Elon 10 days out of 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, Shane, I think that is a valid point. Elon Musk does it all right out there. He's on his own platform. He's telling you exactly what he thinks. He's not always right. And he's very inflammatory. I mean, he said some things about some of the British politicians, which are truly shocking. And you could argue they're quite dangerous. He's gone after one called Jess Phillips in particular, who he's called evil and should be in prison, almost holding her single-handedly accountable for all this, called her a rape genocide apologist. But the problem I have with that is it's not accurate, for one. She's not a rape genocide apologist. But more importantly, 2 British members of parliament have been murdered in the last 10, 11 years, including a young female member of parliament. We don't want to have a situation where inflammatory rhetoric amplified to the extent that Elon's X feed is obviously huge. All these things get gazillions of views. We don't want to have members of parliament or members of Congress or anybody else actually having their lives threatened, as she has now had since this tweet, apparently, this post, having a life threatened in a country where 2 members of parliament in the last 10 years have been murdered by people who don't agree with their views.
Right. There's one unifying theme in all the things that we've discussed, and it hasn't been mentioned yet, which is that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So why did the Catholic priest scandal take so long to be exposed? Because at the time, Catholic priests had enormous power in the UK, in the US, and all over the world. I think what you guys are trying to point out with this idea that some were a little afraid to point out this Pakistani Muslim gang in northern England is that because minorities had some degree of power where
I mean, it kind of reminds us how we're afraid to point out the Venezuelan gangs in Colorado. It's like, oh, we don't want to be racist. I'm like, boy, I'll be the most racist guy out there if it means calling out injustice. Like, if, hey, we calling out injustice, I'll be racist. I will be racist. Just like I take the title of Russian propagandist just for not wanting war. I'll be racist and I'll be a Russian propagandist if it means that I can stand on, well, I don't want war and I want to protect the people around me. It's like, I'll be all that. As long as I get to stand on my own morals and ethics. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Discord, man. We do appreciate you here at Set and Key Media. Make sure you go ahead and join the membership. Then go ahead and email us, and we'll go ahead and get you into the Discord. But as for now, we're going to go ahead and end it out on this note here. Everybody, members, go ahead and move over onto the Discord. I'm about to go ahead and close that out on here. You want to know how you know I'm about to go ahead and close it out? Because